I will, just to forewarn you all, I'm gonna be slipping out a little early. I gotta stoop there at 10:45 to get to work early.
Yeah.
So I will quietly exit
Do
if
that.
I'm still going.
Do it.
Enjoy.
Well, I mean, if we move with the purpose, we will get through it. Do we have anybody online that we?
Look like Brianna is online, but
Let's call the meeting to order.
31.
Right. Introductions.
My name's Chris Davis. I'm with the police department. I'm assigned to the traffic unit.
Deanna Ballcar, Vice Chair.
Glenn Coleman, traffic safety member.
Hannah Schiff, Chair.
Stuff Paul, County Public Works.
Tom O'Brien, member.
Tracy Hensley, County City Council President and liaison to the commission.
Yeah, how to follow an introduction like that. Gary Bryant, member of TSC.
Otherwise, that's what,
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful.
All right.
Did everybody get a chance to review the minutes?
Oh, and if I could interrupt, I did tweak them because Jackie did get back to me. As I didn't have Tina, Tom and Jackie's reports,
Okay.
and so. I sent that out the
Yes.
last meeting.
I did see that. Did everybody else do that from those minutes?
Minutes. Oh, great.
Thank you.
Was a little confused about the meeting, the date for the next meeting. This is October 8th.
February.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know that's why I got the whole team.
That would be correct, right?
September 10th.
The meeting minutes should say
No,
September
there's a-
10th for the next meeting.
The update on last meeting,
Oh,
the next meeting.
Oh, gotcha.
and, yeah, no biggie. We're here.
Anything else?
I move we accept the minutes of the August 13th, 2025 meeting. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So we don't have any citizen input, other than I did hear back from Jen Brisky.
Korsky.
She was asking about where we were, thought I was going to get back with her. And so I forwarded to her again what the results were from the traffic study. And she seemed happy with that and, you know, knowing that we were moving along. So,
I think we could certainly talk about it if that's okay.
yeah, let's do it.
If I understand you correctly, Spencer, and Tracy and all those of you present, it sounds like it's gonna be a few years off before there's the presence of sidewalks and ADA ramp improvements. So that's one factor. And you really cannot have crosswalks without the ADA ramps and all that. So really the problem on that road is speed and increased volume of cars and the people that live along there. They are not able to safely cross the street. And so two things that I think, obviously we will do nothing, which I don't really think is a good option at all. And we're years off from those other options. I really think that thoroughfare, one on each side, would benefit a great deal from those digital speed signs. So I definitely think that would be a good thing. But I also think, you know, I've been driving around more and I've noticed the same signage like they have in Charbonneau, where it's got the line and the, you know, stop when there's a pedestrian present. And Spencer, can you tell us if that would even be an eligible option?
Typically, when you see those, it's trying to grab extra attention. They're at the crosswalk sort of, mostly you see those at a mid-block crossing because in Oregon, every intersection, whether it's marked or not, is a crosswalk. So typically you only see those at a mid-block crossing. I don't know that I've seen them at an intersection, and I think if we were to go through it, I'd put those at every intersection for a stop here for a pedestrian. I think you would end up with a lot of site clearance issues as well as site clutter.
Is there another solution that I'm not thinking of that you all might recommend?
Well, one in Charlotte, we keep bringing that up. It's not like it's at every crosswalk,
Yeah, I mean, those,
maybe 3 at the most on that half-mile stretch.
what,
Where are folks trying to cross most that aren't, say, doing?
well, one of the people that, I
Right.
believe lives on the 9th and 10th Street area. He has to cross to get to the mailbox, and, I mean, if there were crosswalks, it would seem to me like 9th, 10th, and 12th would likely be the potential choices if they were, you know, sidewalk friendly, ADA friendly. Officer Davis, do you have any suggestions on?
I know at the last meeting, we talked about like the legality of the stop signs, those small ones, and whether they're actually enforceable or not, but I don't know, I feel like it's been a little bit better lately just because of the construction on Knights Bridge, where there's been a little bit less traffic through there, and I've noticed it hasn't been as much of an issue, but that's just because of the bridge being out.
Just about to change.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think between the last handful of meetings, I feel like we've discussed probably everything that I could think of.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we, I recommend to the city and public works that they purchase 2 digital speed signs, 1 for each side, and those could potentially be relocated at a future date when there is sidewalks and crosswalks and then potentially a stop sign or more. Is that, that's my,
So if I can real quick, this last month, you had, as a group, made a recommendation for us to go out and do pricing on them. I have not gotten that pricing back, so I don't know
Oh.
exactly how much they've gone up in price.
so you're researching.
I'm still researching, trying to find the pricing for it. Gentleman has been on vacation, so it's been a little hard to.
So that motion's premature, would you guess?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll pull my motion. Sorry.
Can't remember what the report showed in terms of direction of violations. But as I personally have observed that area over the last 2 months, it appears to me that I find more people traveling southbound who are speeding than going northbound. And I don't know if that's because they've been sitting on the ferry landing and now are trying to make up time to get to work or whatever. But that's just been my personal observation of it. I don't know if that has any bearing on whether we put speed signs up there or not, but it would be interesting to ascertain whether or not that in fact, because patrolling.
That's
Yeah.
pretty consistent with
Yeah.
what I see most of the time too, I feel like
I
it's.
noticed
people
going
traveling
by the schools this morning on 13th, and we had an officer in both directions. And the eastbound was very slow. If it hadn't been for slow moving traffic going westbound, there would have been a couple people that would have been pulled over. But he was hidden back in the park and not visible to someone coming in from the east, as it should be.
You know, and I know on the mailbox situation, and I don't know if there's anything that can be done about locate those mailboxes that on that side of the street being relocated. I know in the past where I used to live, we had to cross a busy road and they found a way to relocate so that people weren't crossing that road.
It's
If that's
worth,
a main thoroughfare for people.
it's worth checking because we do have a new postmistress,
Yeah.
fortunately.
Yeah.
You wanna relate what, the message you got from our residents?
Um, So I guess it would be kind of old business as well. There was a resident that sent an email about between 13th and 18th on Ivy about the speed and the concern of all the people out there walking with the new housing developments. There's people crossing right there at 18th. And it's just that the traffic's going so fast. And so I did let them know that we are going to have that, yeah,
Okay.
that we are going to be, you know, the city's going to be getting custody of that
I
road.
gave him appropriate feedback, but that message is out to probably 100 people.
Yeah, so anyway, he came and thanked me that I got right back. I know that that is a concern and I have kind of driven over and even went and took a picture of 18th right there where that housing development's coming out from the left side if you're going south. And there, it's just, yeah, it's a little bit concerning.
It is.
So, and so they were wondering, do we know a timeline of once we take possession of that? How long it would take to get that moved through to change that speed down to the bridge?
I think, as far as I know, that we have all our stuff squared away on what it is we need to do for it. And I don't know with the state for ODOT, with everything they have going on funding wise, and then a couple of years ago, they've changed their rules on their process on reducing speeds slightly, and I haven't gone through with the new way, so I don't know what to expect from them for sure.
Okay,
I believe that the last time that we did it for territorial, it was about a month and a half, wasn't it?
Since there's a month or two.
It was a month or two to get through, and get the go ahead from the state.
That's not
So,
terribly bad.
No.
I mean, it's not great, but it's not years.
Yes.
So unless there's no way to
It's
go
not
there.
yours.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good. And it looks like that they're coming along nicely on Ivy. It's gonna be very nice to have that done. I was glad to see they got it done right by the school before.
before the school started, yes.
So on that note, with the going south on Ivy, the shrubs on those
Mhm.
arborvitaes are still
Mhm.
blocking. I mean, you have to be right up on that school's blinking light to see it. I
Yes.
mean, it's bad. So, I mean, I know it's there,
Mhm.
but if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it.
Yeah.
So, and there's been a lot of people speeding because I drive the speed limit through there and they're on my bumper. So,
Move the sign further down around the back.
I think that we are going to try to relocate the sign to a spot where it's not quite so
Right.
maintenance,
there.
maintenance
Number
heavy
one
as
is
far.
beyond the bend and they're not looking to the right, they're looking to the left.
all right, so,
If it was down where they finish going north, there's a sign just beyond the printing company there. That says end of school zone.
mhm,
If that sign were there.
Even with
across
that.
There,
yeah,
that would be good, more beneficial.
yeah. So, and the completion of Ivy is still on track for October?
Last update I got, yes. I think that they,
Been or in, just curious.
I think it did get pushed to end. Originally it was the 15th, but I think that there was some additional work that was added on. Partially from the city, partially from the county, and so with that added work, the contractor asked for an extension, and so I think it's the end of October now.
And if I get interrupt for a second, I noticed, one of the businesses over there by the fairgrounds near Pine Street has that Automax, which is
Mhm.
pretty big. And it was for sale
I saw
and
that too.
it's now pending,
Oh.
It is.
so I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you able to disclose who's interested in?
I don't know if I can disclose, but it is under contract. They're finishing up. I met with the new owners Monday.
Okay.
And so it was kind of a early on meeting. They're planning on still renting the building out to Automax for the foreseeable. But it was just kind of quick introduction on what is they were really curious as to what the plan would be for a Pine Street realignment.
Yeah, so well aware of that.
Yes, they're aware of that and know that that's something that the city would like to have happen. They were open to it. They had some kind of issues and concerns with how it would be done, so it was nice to open up a dialogue with them.
Neat.
But yeah, so hopefully we will be moving forward with that shortly.
Super,
Great.
thanks for that.
Alright. Okay, So that's kind of the future change on Pines. All right, new business, okay, so we talked about Jen Gursky. So Mark's Place Tofty Farm, that one, we kind of waiting to hear back, I think, is
Well, we kind of suggested that they,
check with the HOA.
yeah, have a good discussion with the HOA and not lose sight of, have a good discussion with the developer. Because it's important to have a good relationship there. They have a lot of experience in dealing with these kinds of problems and then there's some unknowns because hopefully when South Ivy's completed, that'll give some relief to that neighborhood, but I remember Bob Canberra had some creative little signage that he came up with for North Maple. It was like toward the country club and then back toward Maple Street Park, and it was just almost like a political sign, but I think I had a picture of a golf cart and kids, and it just reminded people to slow down.
Mhm.
And so, do you need approval to put those up? Not a ton, but I mean, here and there.
The one on Maple is actually a city sign, isn't it?
It is not a city sign.
Well, but it looks like
It
one. It's
looks
not a
like
political
one,
sign.
it's not a political sign.
It's owned by Elan's house, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
The neighbors did it.
the neighbors purchased the signs, and they installed them. It was kind of I was afraid that one of those, if you let one person do it, then everyone wants to do it kind of a thing, but
Mhm.
those signs were able to go up. They are not a part of the legal MUTCE signs, but they're very similar and close. So
And then I
If I may, this sounds like a code issue we're gonna have to address. Because as Spencer was saying, you let one person do it, then everyone's gonna wanna do signs, and then we do have a sign code. So I think we have to go bigger picture on that. Before we start allowing every neighborhood association to start installing signs. So I think the council needs to address the code with the planning commission. I don't know.
And where do you find the sign code so that you,
all of the codes are on, are you asking for a city sign code or for the federal?
city?
City, that is on the city website.
Okay.
Pull it up and play it real quick. If you were to go to the departments right here, development services. The municipal code over here,
Okay.
and that has all of the codes
Lots of reading.
and it's all kinds of fun.
Oh, you know,
So-
sign code right there. I mean, there's code for business signs, whether they're electric or light up
Yeah.
signs or
Yeah.
not, there's sign codes for the street signs. There's even sign code for temporary signs, political signs, there's all kinds of sign codes, so. Before we start letting neighborhood associations post up whatever they want to, we would probably look at the code and then see if there's any changes that need to be made to the planning commission first.
Let me ask a question. I lived in a city for 20 years that had a very good sign code. But it was not enforced whatsoever. Do we enforce them very carefully?
Would that be code enforcement?
That would be good enforcement. Yeah, I mean,
Aside,
aside from that one sign, I haven't really heard of any. Brought to my attention anyway that are an issue, or that stand out or obvious violations, I mean, if there is something, I can bring it to her attention, but. It would be something she would handle, but I'm not aware of
Just
anything.
ask you a question, because I've had that experience with sitting down personally with the person in charge of sign enforcement. And being told flat out, we're not gonna waste our time on that.
Our code enforcement is currently complaint driven.
Okay,
And I do know that there are signs up around town that aren't enforceable because residents have posted up their own no parking signs. There's one on Cedar, there's several on Knott between second and third. Or no, between third and fourth, because people don't like people parking by their house
Yeah.
during fair. So there's always no parking signs, but they're not enforceable, so.
I will say one thing that code enforcement did and we really appreciate it is, when you see graffiti on a building, you report it to them and then they. Contact the business person and then there was a. that Boss exterior right next to that auto parts had some graffiti on it for a period of time and.
It's, that is a repeated.
But anyway,
target, yeah.
their efforts really saw to it that went away, so that was a good thing. Yeah.
One thing this group could do, because you are trying to manage your social media, is put a link to the complaint department, so to speak, on the
Yeah,
website.
that's
Put a
good.
link on the Facebook page, you know, when you have, when you see something, say
Yeah.
something kind of thing, you can let people in the town know how they can take care of this. Because a lot of people don't even know how to get a hold of Christina, so.
No, that's a good idea, I'll look at doing that.
Something else we might wanna just put on there for temporary is on Ivy Street because of the construction, when people are trying to, pedestrians are trying to cross that. And they're coming from the north side, they're over by those orange cones that are, you know, this tall. Sometimes you don't see them standing there because you've got all those workers and all of a sudden there's a person standing there trying to cross, but you're not really seeing them. Unless you're.
Really given there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's, I mean, I've noticed it, I stopped yesterday for somebody. Kind of a shorter man with a little kid and you could barely see them, but I just caught him out of the corner of my eye and was like, oh. So I stopped, but it's really hard and then the cars are coming out of there so fast because they're at the stop sign and then they kind of just blow out there and so it's.
You talk there at the township,
Township and just along that word, township and that other road that's before township.
third or sixth.
Six, I think
Six,
it is,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just noticed that that's a little bit hazardous right there,
Yes,
so,
They're finishing the sidewalks this morning.
yeah, we're working on it, yeah, that's great. Okay, one other question on that, around that 18th and Ivy, is there any chance that in the future we can put a crosswalk there, because it is far enough away from 13th and you've got people.
we do need to figure out the best place for a pedestrian crossing through there. I know at one point in time, I was talking with an engineer about how to stripe that intersection. Unfortunately, with the way that they did the offset for the two streets. It potentially can be done, it's not the
Best spot.
best spot, mostly due to whenever you're having an angled
Yeah,
crosswalk, you're increasing the time the pedestrian is in the street.
what about, right along where the marquee is, where those housing developments are right there, where it already feels like it's a crosswalk, but it's not really. You know what I'm talking about? So,
Midnight.
yeah, it's like right.
Right around here where
Mm,
that one comes out.
They have a driveway.
There. You could. Put a crosswalk perpendicular to what is on 18th. In the new development area.
Yes,
There, and by the memory care unit. At Hope Village. You see that sidewalk comes around anyway. In this side of the fire plug and went straight across.
right here
Right.
to cut across over here.
Cause the ramp is already good. And you just have to put a ramp on the other side.
Well, there's one.
Well.
But it's
and
not
that's,
just,
you know,
yeah, I was just saying, it makes it diagonal.
and there's no sidewalk on that side of the driveway. If you came up further north on Ivy. And you had straight across from.
there's like a house
Back,
development, right?
back south,
Oh, back south.
yeah, where the pedestrian traffic comes across.
Oh,
You got
okay.
all these houses over here, and they like to come over and walk toward Oak Village. And so if it came straight across and ended up near that sign
Right here.
right there, yes.
And I think that that was something that we had talked about, when I was talking with the engineer, is to do. An ADA ramp here and have it come straight across.
I think
But
it
there
makes
was,
more sense.
there was a lot of concern with, how close yet how far away from the intersection. For, drivers.
Yeah.
So then we were talking at one point about trying to just do a mid-block push button crossing. Get it
That
away
would be
from,
better than nothing.
get everything away from the intersections themselves and actually have that.
I would be
Crossing
concerned that people would not be using it,
I would,
because they're not gonna walk up there and then back again to walk where they want to walk to.
mhm,
Has
But if
that,
you had a push button. And you had a perpendicular walkway across, even if it's 10 feet further
yeah,
north. I think people would do it, because they're already even with it
mhm,
when they're on the other side of 18th.
right.
is where that building is on the left, is that gonna all be developed?
Yes,
Oh, cause that all gets scraped.
Yeah.
More houses.
this is all part of the
That's Hope
Hope
Village.
Village expansion.
Okay.
We own that down to, we own that house and then we owe,
The other side.
own the one just past that Roof Masters is in currently right there, we own that. And we're gonna be, I think, trying to put a driveway in on 18th
Mhm.
for our shop, so that, yeah, somewhere in there. And that will be our shop, maintenance department. Future plan. Okay, so. Chris, do you have a little fun for us?
I do,
I got a lot to say.
too much. So we had 382 total citations issued in August. 17 DUI arrests. 21 total traffic complaints that we responded to, which the last probably 5 or 6 months or so, they've been a little bit more just because of the construction, and a lot of them are just people wanting to be heard, not even really having any particular issue they want to complain about, just traffic. We did, not specific necessarily to traffic, but for the department as a whole, they just invested in an online reporting system. So for minor, lower level crimes, things that don't require like an immediate response, there's going to be the ability for people to go online and actually select what the issue is that they're wanting to report. And we can set the categories, so we can have things like traffic complaints and minor thefts and, vandalism, things like that on there.
Would that be from the Candy Police website?
It will, yeah, it's been purchased, we just had a meeting this morning with the developer of it, and then they're gonna work on rolling it out here, I would assume in the next couple weeks, but, I think it'll be helpful for this because, as far as traffic complaints go, the process that we have right now is it's not awful, but, people will submit a form through our website. That form will wait until it can get processed by someone in our records department, and then it gets sent to me and the traffic sergeant. Which, depending on how long it is or the time of the week, it can be a couple days before it gets to us. So with this, it enables all of the officers to be able to see them the minute they're reported, so if there's something that, isn't necessarily worthy of calling 911, but it's still something that needs attention, we'll be able to see it a lot quicker, which I think will be helpful.
That's something we can add the link to the.
Oh,
traffic
absolutely,
safety,
yep, they have,
Page,
part of it, they have QR codes that people can scan. I think they're working on a mobile app, that'll be part of it too. But it's very, very user friendly.
The mobile app that you're not supposed
supposed to
to
be
use
when
while
you're
you're driving.
driving, yes.
Right.
So you have-
Yep,
Thank you for playing.
These those of the 382 citations, were the majority of those speeding?
most months they are, so I would wager that probably half, maybe more of those are speeding citations.
Red light running,
A lot of those, I think I know last meeting we talked about Redwood 99, we talked about quite a bit, I sat there. For the better part of half of my shift, 2 days last week, and it was pretty much one after another, almost every time through the light somebody does there. And everybody always has the same complaint, that if you're coming from the Sequoia Parkway side and you're turning left to go south on 99, that it's too short. It's always the people coming out of the Fred Meyer parking lot that are trying to hurry up and make the light, end up running it. But yeah, a lot of red light runners. a lot of speed,
People talking on their phone and texting. too.
oh yeah, yep, my. Favorite spot for that, favorite's probably the wrong word, but I sit next to the Dahlia, right next to all of our insurance right there. I don't know, that stop sign is probably between that one and the one at Fourth and Pine, which I know that the intersection's not great, but. As far as making a stop sign as obvious as you can make it. It doesn't get much more obvious than that, there's a stop line, stop sign, sign lights up. And
And they still run it.
they do, they're on their cell phones and they run it, and then they want to argue that there was no stop sign, and it's.
There's your signs.
Frustrating because I want to say, well, if you weren't looking at your phone, you probably would have seen the stop sign, but
So now you have 2 violations.
yes, yeah.
Wow.
So I'm excited about that online reporting thing, I think it'll be helpful for us, I can,
When is that coming online?
I'm not sure the exact date, it's already. The developer, has created the system for us, he makes, there's a team of, I think, 2 or 3 people, but, Albany uses it, Eugene uses it, Cottage Grove uses it, I could email you the link to it, Spencer, if you want to pull it up, but it's very easy to use. I would imagine probably within a couple weeks. I know we have to all get trained on it, all the officers do. And then after that, it should be pretty quick.
In a few weeks.
Yeah. Don't quote me on it, but that's what I
A few
think.
weeks-ish, not too
Yeah.
So can you share it all about the traffic stop on Ivy and just past 13th, right outside of Oak Village where there was the.
Oh, yes, I'm excited for that. So that was a Portland police issue. So anytime there is a vehicle that's stolen, whether it has license plates on it or not, when it gets entered into the database, they will enter either the vehicle was stolen, or the vehicle and both license plates, or one license plate or what have you. So that delivery truck was stolen in Portland about a week prior. Excuse me, the truck was stolen about 3 months prior. It was recovered by the owner the next day. They called the police, said we found our truck. Portland didn't take it out of the system, so when it shows up in our license plate readers, or if we type in the license plate, it says it's a stolen vehicle. And that both license plates are still supposed to be on it, and that it's reportedly stolen. So we treat it that way until we know that it's not. And in talking to the drivers who were actually employees of a moving company, that's the 3rd time that they have had that exact thing happen to them. They have had a high-risk traffic stop.
I was up and down and I'm like.
I mean, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the most dangerous things for us, because, you know, typically people that are stealing vehicles have weapons or other things, or there's a reason that they're trying to get away, but I think we all got the sense right away that that probably wasn't the case, because they were extremely cooperative and were smiling and knew exactly what to do.
I see the passenger getting out like this, and I'm like, what?
So, and all of our reports got forwarded to Portland, and one of our sergeants spoke to somebody in their records department. It's kind of a recurring issue. Oregon City actually had the exact same thing happen the same day with a different car that Portland also had not taken out, which they have so many stolen vehicles. I understand that it's difficult, but at some point I'd be concerned about somebody getting hurt or a lawsuit or something like that, which wouldn't be our liability, it would be theirs.
Yes.
But that was, it was a whole lot of action for nothing.
Well, it gave you a lot of.
Yeah.
Good practice.
Yeah.
And then, did the bank get robbed?
Which bank?
Which bank?
Well,
What's the name of it this week? The one in Fred Myers.
Umpqua, I think it is now.
Oh, yeah, I heard it got robbed.
I didn't hear about it. I'm not, when was that?
A few weeks ago, it was right around the time.
Got a little Facebook.
Oh, yes, it did. Somebody walked in there and I believe passed a note to the teller. And it sounds like they have an idea of who it was. It's a suspect that's done this at several locations, mainly further down south.
Yeah.
But our detectives, I think, are working with the other agencies that also similar.
Well, we appreciate you guys
Yeah,
and I've noticed that there's been a lot more vehicles pulled over, which I'm.
There has been.
Yeah.
There has been.
I made it a point the last couple months, ODOT's been pretty generous with us as far as the amount of money that we get for grants, so we've had. Overtime spots which is coming from the grant money, posted almost every day for the last couple months, which has been.
We saw the increase in gas prices.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's
coming from somewhere.
they did actually cut across the board, just like they did for everything, the amount of money that we're getting for the following year, which their grant year runs from October through September. So we're almost at the end of this grant year, and we have a distracted driving grant category, a speed grant category, seatbelt, pedestrian awareness, and DUI, and all of them, with the exception of the DUI grant, got cut by at least a few $1,000s each. So we'll have a little bit less to work with next year.
If you are, the grant is for that, but you see somebody committing some other sort of traffic violation, can you still? Go?
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. They don't, they just ask that you place extra focus on whatever grant you're using, but anything is available, so.
Great. All right.
Then I have a question. I heard something happen Friday night at not in North Territorial, shooting.
I have not heard anything about that, no.
Okay,
And it was a
someone's vehicle was shot out when I was
We did
in my
have-
hair done the next day.
We had one a couple weeks ago at Township in South Knott, that was a shooting.
Okay.
That I'm
That's-
wondering if
that's
that's
what I heard
may have
about.
been what it was.
Arrests made.
So the involved victims have been, I don't wanna go too far into it, because it's
Yeah.
still an open investigation, but,
No.
not a whole lot of cooperation
Gotcha.
because of, likely gang affiliation.
Affiliation.
So it's been difficult to get. Some of them have been identified,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Thank you.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Public Works. Answer.
Kind of touched on the Automax deal. That was one of the big things, is it was nice to meet the new owners and kind of get their perspective on how that road can go through. And then sounds like we might be kind of branching out and talking with some of the other property owners around there. South Ivy, last I checked, is still on schedule. Tom had just said they were pouring the last of the sidewalk today when he was on his way over. So hopefully that will all be buttoned up soon and a nice easy drive, and then we can all start fielding the complaints of speeding on that street.
I know, once it's smooth.
But, and then, last I heard from the county, everything was still going good with, the bridge project. I did want to note that the extended hours of operation for the ferry, is currently scheduled to be completed this week. So starting next week, they're going back to their fall hours to where, Monday through Friday, they aren't running till 8:30 anymore. It'll be back to, I believe, 6 p.m. is when they'll be done with the ferry.
As of when is that?
I believe it was Friday, the 12th.
It is nice,
That's
right, late October on.
Yes.
Okay, oh, that's
So I have some Knightsbridge should be done about the same time. We can have a big party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And then 10th Street, they are hoping to start putting curbs in next week from Pine up to Maple. And then finishing up storm line from Maple over to Locust, and then they'll continue along with the curbs through there. I'm trying to talk them into at least trying to get the first layer of asphalt down as soon as the curbs are in, so that we're not dealing with the gravel and mud and everything else, but it's gonna be up to if we can convince their sub to come twice instead of once, so we'll
for the
see.
sidewalks.
For the asphalt,
Oh,
so.
And how's that project going down across from Jarvis.
The sewer board project, we are waiting for the last of the permit from, Union Pacific. There was some slight confusion on which all permits we needed. We thought we had them all, and now they're saying that we needed some different ones, and so it's been slightly slow. Just got an email yesterday from the engineer on, we have everything ready to go and send off. We're just waiting for Union Pacific to sign off on their portion of it.
Will that project continue to head toward town, or will it cross under the highway?
It is crossing under the highway right there where they're at.
Okay.
So it's the only stretch that, is going along the highway is what they have done. So where they've got a hole on one side, that's going over to the neighborhood of Willow Creek Estates, and then where they're at on the other side, that's what's going under the highway for the new road extension,
Each.
so.
And what's the story on the new road extension with that whole thing?
There was email chain yesterday between the county, city administrator, and a bunch of us with the city on trying to figure out what we need to do to move forward with that being outside of city limits. And in county's jurisdiction on the county's. I think now the county is working with us on letting us build the road through, so.
A long time.
It has been.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Do you need to end up annexing that to make it work better, or? I'm just curious, that's my curiosity question.
There's a lot of different avenues on how to do this. Trying to figure out which one is going to be the best one to move forward is kind of where we're.
Okay.
I mean, I think a lot of us know that the road, it'd be nice if the road was in. But then trying to annex in doesn't happen overnight, and
It's easier now.
How much of
but
this-
legislature took away.
how much of this, you know, is more on a developer instead of just on the city is kind of where,
Okay,
so.
I got you, okay.
It looks like we don't have anybody from city planning, do we?
Gabriella didn't,
Okay,
there's some vacation, hopefully it's not sick.
Ms. Tracy.
I don't really have a lot to report per se, I'm available for questions, there's, I know Clint always has questions.
I love
But no, I mean, we're still moving forward on just kind of. Settling things out, our interim city managers doing a fabulous job of. Turning things around and getting us on even keel, so I really don't have anything to report other than it's calm.
It's good. How's the search going?
We haven't addressed that yet, in fact, I think it's coming before us at the next council meeting as to what the. Recommended options are, so.
Would that be something where the recommended option is to reverse your decision to only have him as an intern?
Well,
Seems pretty great, yeah, like,
I'm getting lots of reports that way, and I mean, there is the resident thing, I mean, this is kind of off topic for traffic, but. Since you asked, there is the residential topic, provision in the charter. But I see maybe a possibility of just extending the interim at least, and just letting. Let's not upset that whole party again, but we'll see, I mean, they're gonna present us the options, come 17th, and. Then the council will have to deliberate and we'll see.
Okay.
But you know, if you all have opinions, send them in.
I was just gonna
Yes,
ask,
what?
two things, I was gonna ask if there's any new businesses that are coming online that we maybe don't know about. And then I was gonna ask, the old Wygant Auto Parts, which was for a time an antique shop, and now it's kind of vacant. For the most part, you know, if that building will be sold or.
I haven't heard anything about that, as far as anyone kicking the tires on that, I can certainly inquire, but I haven't heard of anything. as same as everyone asked me about CRE, well, I have no idea what they're gonna do about property. It's still vacant. I've had people ask me if we can move the bollards, and I already mentioned that. And that's, you know, it is what it is.
How about across the street with the old Nero?
There is somebody there, I'm not sure who it is, I just noticed the activity this week myself, and I was going to inquire, but there is a dumpster outside the building, so I think
I
somebody.
think I know who it is, and I think I'm gonna text him.
Yeah, we can chat offline. So yeah, I did notice that too, so, the other thing, actually, there is something I was gonna bring up, and I'll just bring it up in the meeting with you, the businesses. There's one restaurant that has a lot of deliveries on Ivy, across from the Dahlia. Those trucks that deliver foods are always parking on the sidewalk. And now I'm noticing it's kind of getting crushed. Is there anything we can do in the way of, either? I don't know if we can have the business make it so that they can't stop there, or maybe we just cut out the landscaping strip that's already crushed, the trees are gone. Can we make a little curve out so that that truck can just pull over and traffic can go by and they're not actually crushing up our sidewalk? Is there something we can do there? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. They have had to replace the sidewalks, they've had to replace meter boxes, and that gets hit again. So I will try to remember to reach out to the property owner and inform him that his tenants' current practices are, so I'm not sure why the trees did not go back in after they were cut down. I believe that they were originally supposed to, so I wasn't the one that approved those ones, so I'll have to find out. Yes,
And I get, we have landscape code and all of that, but there's, to me, in my brain is like, okay, landscape is pretty and everything, but it isn't practical right there. To me, it makes more sense to scoop out the landscape strip and make it so those trucks can just pull over and let traffic go by while they're unloading and forego 3 trees. But that's just me. I'm only one vote.
And I know another place, Ratcliffe, is having their landscaper is parking on 13th sidewalk. Because of Burke Parkway, because on their side, there's no parking on 13th. And I don't know why he doesn't choose to park elsewhere, but he puts out cones and parks on the sidewalk, and it worries me because there are people from Ratcliffe that are walking around. And then also it's just,
And sidewalks are not.
yeah, it's like
made
that's
to hold
not,
away
yeah.
from traffic.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want my tax dollars going to take care of something that they're negligent on, so I don't know if that's something that city can maybe reach out to Ratcliffe and tell them that their landscaper shouldn't be parking on there.
yeah, I can look into doing that. I can't say that any of the sidewalk is the responsibility of the property owner, so the city wouldn't be going through and replacing any sidewalks because damage is on the property owner.
Well,
But if they are blocking the sidewalk, if they don't have a sidewalk permit, then that is something that we can say, hey, you know, can't block the sidewalk.
yeah, and my worry is our HOA is actually has their sign
Mhm.
right there, and we have comment area over there too, so I don't want our HOA being that
There
bad
you go.
because of this person that just
Yep.
decides that he can do this. I'm like, what's going on?
Well, we're on you anyway, so.
Oh,
we're up.
So I saw on Facebook that there was a kid on a bike at Second and Elm, I believe, right by Canby Rental. I reached out to Canby Rental just because I know when the owner and I went to school together. So I reached out and they unfortunately don't have any cameras that would face the area, but apparently it was a hit and run. I don't know if But
okay, but.
yeah,
It's starting, it's a.
yeah, it just, I don't know if there's something at crosswalks that we can make more visible or something. I'm hoping that, cameras from other businesses might have helped. But, just was a scary thing to see on Facebook that someone, I mean, the person apparently picked up the bike and moved it and then got in the car and sped off, which I'm just like.
Apparently they had to go pick up their own kids, so you good? Okay, bye.
Yeah, yeah, it was just weird. And then, the other thing that I've noticed when there's a lot of people running stop signs. And, or doing the, oh, I'll just slow down.
California roll.
Yeah. But, I'm noticing that at some of the stop signs, there isn't the white line that I used to seeing when I was a kid. There's always like the white line at the stop sign. Cause I noticed that like some of that might be just where from the road or something, but I don't know if that's something that. When the weather's nice to be able to maybe restripe if we can.
Stop bars, I don't wanna say are the lowest priority, but that's kind of the first priority for us when it comes to striping is the main stripes running down the road, and then second priority typically goes to crosswalks for pedestrian safety, and then curbs for the elevate. And so unfortunately, the stop bars do kind of end down towards the end.
Okay.
I do try to make sure that the guys at least go and do as many of them as they can. The hardest part with a stop bar as compared to everything else is all the other ones, you can still keep traffic flowing
That's
while
great.
you're trying to get the stop bar done. But the stop bar is you literally have to shut all traffic until paint dries. So the guys, and I can only get so mad because years ago when that was my job, I also hated doing stop bars for that reason. We would always try to find it on the hottest day possible with the sun so that it dried the fastest. Unfortunately, this year, we weren't able to do any seasonal work or get temp seasonals in. So a lot of our extra duties kind of got spread thin. So this summer, it really was not the best for our painting. But I personally like to see the stop bars. So I do want to get going on more of that as we go on.
Yeah, no, I just noticed that when I was coming because there was somebody at an intersection over by the cemetery. That just kind of did the California stop and I'm like, oh, there's no white bar down there and they may not have seen the stop sign too good with the tree that could be blocking the stop sign or something. So, and then the only other thing that I had was that I think it's North Holly and 10th Street, there's a stop sign, but there's like a tree that blocks a stop sign at the homeowner. I don't know if there's a notification can go to the homeowner to trim their tree or if it's been
Been
noted.
a constant with that,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
And that's the area that they're complaining about the speeding,
Yeah.
so they're not helping the situation.
Correct.
no, my mom reminded me of that because she goes that way and I'm like, okay, I'll bring it up.
There's, I think there's been every year, at least twice a year, we get a complaint for the shrubs growing over the curb and everything else. Complaint gets delivered to the homeowner. Homeowner doesn't do anything about it. The city then eventually goes out there and cuts with the face of the curb. And it's kind of gotten to the point now where I'm wanting to talk to somebody about like, all right, we're not going up with the curb anymore, we're gonna go ground level here shortly, if the property owner is gonna maintain it, so.
Makes sense. Thank you very much.
It's good.
Eric, you're up.
Oh, well, on a related subject of crosswalks, I noticed on 99, just north of Ivy, there's this crosswalk, with the state across the highway, but there's no grid marks.
Oh, near the Kiwanis.
Mhm.
There's one,
By the Kiwanis.
Is that where?
Yeah,
you
and not
Kiwanis.
where they have the traffic island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and notice there's ADA, the crosswalk sign, and there's no truck route sign anymore. It
Oh, did the truck route not make it back up?
Didn't make back up.
Okay,
It was
on 99,
On
so,
99, right there by, just north of Ivy, where it detours around the videos.
I would love to see more truck route signs.
Me
They
too.
are really not going where it's good.
Can be, I love our community, but 30-some years that I've been living and partying in this community, the trucking, the routes are the worst, and Johnson Control and all that, just.
I learned to turn with pulling a horse trailer many years ago to going down Ivy to turn behind 7-Eleven. It was just, it's not.
Yeah, my favorites are the ones that are going north on 99 and take a right onto Ivy. And end up doing the 47-point Austin Powers turn and block traffic for 15 minutes. Take out half of the, yeah.
Yeah, not good.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, so is that it for you?
Pretty much, yep, I just, agree with things that we've been hearing here and, not.
I'd love to see Jake break signs go up in town too. At the edges of town.
edge of the town.
No Jake breaks, that would be really.
Oh, that, yeah, that's right, that was the issue that brought up,
Yeah.
I think Silverton, I took some pictures of Silverton and their truck route signs and the J break thing, probably down in Canby, Garden Center. Would be the place to put it, Northwest Cement, Portland, just a reminder, they use those in town.
Yeah.
And the unbuffled ones are even worse, so.
Yes.
But that would be something to make it,
Nice. Clint.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I've been working on my report to present to you all about the speed cameras and what communities that use them and how long they've used them and how their experience with them has been, if it's been a net positive or negative. And so I hope to give that report next month.
Okay. Alright.
And then I believe Jennifer's father passed away.
Yeah.
Father-in-law, yeah, that's why she wasn't here today. They're in what, Michigan, is that right? Yeah, so.
And then Jackie
She had a
shared,
work thing.
yeah, she had a work thing, but she shared with Tina and I about a road rage incident that
Yes.
happened. On 13th Burke Parkway, she was driving home or something and somebody was doing some road rage, so very violent behavior, going pretty fast on Burke Parkway when she was going the speed limit and just passed her and just being a jerk.
Bless the rock.
Yeah, so just, yeah.
Hopefully that stuff will calm down as the construction projects go down. I think people are getting irritated because it's taking forever to get anywhere.
No,
And so fuses are shorter. I don't know, am I wrong?
No, I definitely feel like the traffic complaints have been a lot of similar instances what you're talking
Yeah.
about, so.
So once people can freely flow where they want to go again, maybe we
Maybe
have calmer
things will-
minds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had somebody following me the other day when I was going north on 99 and taking a left onto Pine and just on my tail and I was going speed limit and then when I got onto Pine, they just blew past me and turned
Yeah.
down by the construction down there and that's.
Yeah, everyone's in a hurry to get nowhere.
Okay, Tom, you're up.
Good, I have to leave too. This 5-year report that we got showing the traffic studies for accidents or collisions at South End and 99E. The 5-year report shows that from 2019 through 2021, there were on average less than 2 collisions per year. The following year, in 2022, there was an increase of more than 350%. Or a total of 7 collisions versus less than 2. And then again in 2023, it almost doubled again from 7 to 13. I think our assumptions that there's some problem there may be correct.
Mhm.
I'll put it that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth digging into. And I know that we have the support of the former fire chief, and current counselor to look into that. Because when those accidents do happen, they're horrific accidents.
Yeah.
The injuries were substantial.
Yeah, when they happen, they're horrible, yeah.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Okay, and I kind of said my piece and we're going along, so I don't really have anything
Okay,
I was saying to.
look at you.
Hey, I'm really efficient this week. All right, so if there's nothing else, we will adjourn the meeting. All right, I think that's a record.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I moved my mom to Marquee on Monday. And I had a plan